Understanding the child welfare system in the District of Columbia. The Georgetown University Center for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities, GUCED, presents the Transition Implementation Partnership, TIP, video series. The TIP video series was created to help parents with intellectual and developmental disabilities understand how to navigate systems in the District of Columbia. This video was made in partnership with local parents. Enjoy this video at your own pace. This video contains a lot of information and is meant to be paused when needed. You can watch the sections of the video that are most helpful to you. You can also ask someone else to watch this video with you for support. Thanks for watching. Content warning. This video shares examples of child abuse and neglect. This could be stressful for some people to view or hear. Please take care of yourself while watching this video. It is okay to stop watching the video or pause the video and come back to it at another time. Understanding the child welfare system in the District of Columbia.
My name is Lakeisha Neal. I have 3 children. I'm on a purple-like dress, and my hair is brown, and black. As a parent, what do I need to know about the DC child welfare system?
Child welfare is a system to make sure all children are safe and free from abuse and neglect. Keeping a child free from abuse and neglect means that parents make sure that their child is safe and secure, protected from harm, anything that can hurt them, healthy, and sees their healthcare provider for well child visits or when they are sick, eating nutritious meals every day, going to school regularly, feels comforted and loved. In the District of Columbia, the Child and Family Services Agency, or CFSA, is the lead agency for child welfare. The purpose of DC's child welfare system is to keep families together whenever children can be safe at home. To help prevent abuse and neglect, CFSA works with schools, doctors and healthcare and mental health care providers, social service agencies, and judges and lawyers in family court. Summary. DC's child welfare system works with parents, schools, health and mental health care providers, social service agencies, and the courts to help keep children free from abuse and neglect. In DC, the Child and Family Services Agency, or CFSA, is the lead agency for the child welfare system.
What are some of the examples of child abuse?
Putting a child in danger is child abuse. Some examples of child abuse include physically hurting a child on purpose, hurting a child's feelings, making them feel nervous, upset, or scared, having sexual contact with a child or making a child available to others for sex. Inappropriate sexual contact includes touching and words. Summary. Child abuse can include putting a child in danger or causing physical or emotional harm to a child.
What are some of the examples of child neglect?
Neglect can mean different things. For example, it can mean neglect when a child does not have enough to eat to be healthy, does not have clothes to keep them warm in cold weather, does not get the medical treatment or mental health care that they need, does not have a safe place to live, or does not attend school regularly or is late or absent many times. Summary. Neglect can include when a child's needs are not met. For example, children need food, clothing, medical care, a safe place to live, and education.
How does DC child welfare system know if a child is being abused or neglected?
CFSA has a 24-hour hotline, 202-671-SAFE-7133, that family members, neighbors, or anyone who is concerned can call to report suspected abuse or neglect. DC law requires that people working in certain jobs must report if a child is being abused or neglected, or at risk of abuse or neglect. These are called mandatory reporters and include people who work in schools, early intervention programs, child care centers, law enforcement, healthcare, and mental health care. social services, and others who provide social services. By law, the names of people who report suspected child abuse and neglect are strictly confidential. This means that CFSA and other mandatory reporters cannot share who made the report. Summary: anyone in the community can contact CFSA on a 24-hour hotline to report suspected abuse or neglect. Teachers, healthcare workers, and other mandatory reporters are required by law to report suspected abuse or neglect to CFSA.
What does DC Child Welfare System do when it gets reports of expected abuse or neglect?
A social worker meets with the family after suspected abuse or neglect is reported by anyone. Based on what happens during the meeting with the family and other information that has been reported, CFSA may start an investigation. An investigation is when a social worker interacts with a family to find out whether or not the report of abuse or neglect is true. Following CFSA policy, the social worker may decide that the child should continue to live with their family and receive needed help. If the social worker believes a child is in immediate danger, the child will be taken from the home to keep them safe. Summary: after a report of suspected abuse or neglect, CFSA assigns a social worker to meet with the family. CFSA uses a process to find out if the report of abuse or neglect is true. CFSA may start an investigation. Based on what the investigation finds, the child may stay with the family or may be taken from the family to make sure they are safe.
How can a social worker support families that are involved in the DC Child Welfare System?
Families that are involved with DC's child welfare system can get resources. If needed, families can be referred to agencies in DC for support with finding housing, resources for food, clothing, helping pay utility bills, and other services. Families can also ask the social worker to help them access resources such as parent training and education opportunities, and counseling services for mental health, well-being, and other concerns. Summary: a social worker can find and provide needed resources to families involved with the DC child welfare system.
What are parents' rights?
All parents have the right to participate in services, programs, and activities for themselves and their children. If you have trouble participating because of your disability, you have a right to ask for help. This help is called a reasonable accommodation. There are many types of accommodations. Some examples are getting help to fill out forms and having things explained to you in a way you understand. You can be provided with an assistive listening device if you are deaf or hard of hearing, or get documents in Braille or large print if you are blind or have low vision. Parents involved with the DC child welfare system have the right to be treated with respect and courtesy. Privacy. Information about them and their children cannot be shared with the public. Know what is going on and get clear, honest answers to questions. Have a relative, friend, or any other person attend meetings with child welfare, unless the court has forbidden that person's involvement in the case. Information about other ways to get help if child welfare cannot help the family. Parents also have the right not to be discriminated against. This means that you cannot be treated differently from other people because of who you are as a person. The DC child welfare system cannot discriminate against parents due to their age, race, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, lifestyle, or physical, mental, or developmental disability.
If the court system is involved, what rights do parents have?
Parents have the right to have a lawyer with them at any time. Parents have the right to ask for a lawyer to represent them if CFSA refers the family to court. Parents have the right to have the court appoint a lawyer for them if they do not have enough money. Parents have the right to know that the court will appoint a different lawyer to represent their child or children. Parents have the right to have a court hearing within 3 days if their child or children have been removed from the home. Parents have the right to refuse to take part in the investigation. If parents do not cooperate with the investigation, CFSA may ask the police or court system for help. Summary: all parents have rights during child welfare investigations. Parents cannot be treated differently based on who they are. This is called discrimination.
What are parents' responsibilities if they are involved in an investigation?
Parent responsibilities include but are not limited to giving truthful information, cooperating with the social worker and others trying to help, following any plans to improve the children's safety, participating in services to improve the family situation, participating in all required meetings about the family situation, attending court hearings if the court is involved. Summary. Parents have responsibilities if they are involved in an investigation. This includes attending all meetings and court hearings. All these rights and others are to make sure parents have the support they need to keep their children safe and free from abuse and neglect.
What's your favorite part about being a mom is playing with the kids?
Playing with the kids, teaching them how to do like certain things. Like my older two be getting ready for like math. So I'm teaching them math, multiplication and attractions. So they like that. And then my son, I'm helping him write his name to be ready for kindergarten. I know basic sign language, but I want to be an interpreter. I want to be more fluent in it and be able to teach people or be able to talk to people that's in parent.
This video was developed with funding from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, Administration for Community Living, ACL, Administration on Disability, AOD, Grant 90DDUC0086. The video content is solely the responsibility of the Georgetown University Center for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities, GUCED, project staff and partners, and does not necessarily represent the official views of the HHS, ACL, AOD.